We are back for another episode of Cutting Stems, the after show, Bachelor in Paradise edition. We just watched week 2 on the beach. Trent, Kelly, initial thoughts on this week's episode? I felt like I'll throw mine out first.
Please.
Tell us, Fran.
I felt like there was a lot of filler. Unnecessary filler in this episode. I want some good drama, you know? That was my initial thoughts. We'll dive into it, but what about you guys?
I'm curious to know what your guys' thoughts are about the bonfire.
Okay.
Because it's something that I don't feel like the show has really done, where usually they let these people get to the beach and the drama kind of creates itself. Rarely do they have this thing where, Hannah Brown was the host of it, and they get everybody together and they basically made a bunch of drama. I can't decide if I like that or if I don't like it. Like, it's something you can't do every week.
Yeah.
But
I'll say this. I think that it was good for this crew because based on the first episode, remember we were talking about it, and I think I said that I feel as if there's so much drama potential, but people really weren't like doing anything about it. Like the fact that only like 2 people had kissed first episode was kind of crazy. So I think maybe with this group, they needed to like light a fire under their ass for a second and make some people mad and get them rolling, because I think on previous seasons, people have been more comfortable like starting drama. Like we really don't have a shit stirrer this time around yet, right? Like nobody's really, maybe on this episode a little bit. We had some stuff with Peter towards the end of the episode. But really, everyone's just kind of going with the flow and trying to be respectful and trying not to like make themselves look bad.
I think none of the guys have really done anything bad.
No.
You know, it's like normally there's always a focus on like guys making bad moves.
Even Will, who made the bad move, was not that bad.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
And at the end, you kind of like, that kind of turned on Kylie, if anything, and what didn't make Will look as bad. Like, we kind of forgot about that.
Yeah.
So, like, all the guys are just kind of chilling, and I think that's why they were like, we need these guys to maybe say something.
Yeah,
just
get
do
them
something. In trouble,
it's like that meme, the poke with the poke the stick, do
something.
something. Yeah, that's kind of what was happening last night.
Yeah, so Avon, the episode started, Avon came down, not shocking. Kylie has been dreaming of Avon for months. Like, there was not a single...
That fire emoji.
I know, there was not a single part of me this entire episode that was like, maybe she'll go with Will. It's like, no, she's fucking obsessed with Avon. She thinks he's like a Greek god. She's like, I need Avon right now, immediately. It's over.
When Avon came down, she waxed poetic about him for 2 minutes and did not mention Will. The whole time. She was like, I can't wait to, there he is. I'm so excited. I've been building this up in my head for so long. I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm going to throw up.
Smile on her face.
And Will was just standing there and she didn't say anything to him, just got up and hugged Avon.
It was wild. It was wild. And I do think that that those feelings are reciprocated. Like, I was wondering when Avon was going to come down because everybody was talking about him. Hot ticket Avon, you know what I mean? All of a sudden, everybody wants a piece. And I think that the fact that he immediately tried to talk to her and then took her on the date means that's for real. You know what I mean? Like, I think that obviously Will doesn't stand a chance, but I did think there was a moment based on the previews of last episode that maybe he would go for someone else and it would kind of foil Kylie's plan, but seems like it's all falling into place for her.
They did play it up like Olivia was going to get the date.
For sure.
Yeah,
and I fell for it.
I know.
They
totally
cut it in a
I
way
was waiting for that.
where I almost think they had him say, like, Olivia, do you want to go on this date with me? Like,
Straight
I
up.
was so convinced because it was Olivia, I will say, she sewered Kylie in her one-on-one with Avon, which I respect. Where she was, where she was like, I don't think there's any couples here except for Will and Kylie. I think that's the only. I'm pretty sure they're getting married, which I thought that was great. But he went on the date with Kylie. I'm not sure about Kylie. I think she likes Avon a lot, but I also think if another guy comes down that she likes more, I think she could jump to him too. Yeah. I really do.
No, I don't think anybody stood a chance outside of these two. Like, I think Avon and Kylie both had tunnel vision for each other. They can edit it to make it look like they didn't, or like that Avon maybe would have entertained something else, but I really don't think. I think that they knew, like, if I'm going on this beach. And I also think Avon was like, I'm coming in, it's been one day. Yeah, like, I think I can just like decide what I want.
Right, it's not that big of a deal. I did notice though that learning lessons from the night before, Kylie did go tell Will I'm going to go on this date, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to see where it goes. She made the right moves in letting Will down easy, I think.
But God, her ability to kind of fake it with Will put like my radar up on just Kylie as a person.
I couldn't agree more.
Because it was like, she was being so nice.
Yes.
And so like, oh, like I'm going to go on this date. Like we have a great connect. Don't worry. Like we have a great connection. Like we'll see what happens. Like the whole thing. When I know in her head, she's like, Will's done. Like there's he doesn't even stand a chance. So I get it, whatever, she wanted to let him down easy, but I was like, girl, it's just too much.
She's letting him down easy, and she's also, she's minding her P's and Q's. Like she's making sure that if she does go out with Avon and things don't fly, Will is still there. You know what I mean? Like she's trying to make sure she has every option available to her, especially when the rose ceremony that night was going to be the guys giving the roses to the girls. I'm very interested to see next week where it's reverse. And I feel like it gets a lot more ruthless because the guys start to fight with each other because they're like, macho menning it up. And the girls are like, worship me, I'm your queen, which is obviously my preferred way of watching.
Yeah. And look, I do not blame Kylie at all because.
No, me neither.
You clearly have someone in mind that you want to meet. That's your goal on Paradise. You get down there, he's not there. You got to find a way to stay. Like I don't hate the moves because you got to make them. I know like does it like go back to what Olivia was saying? It's basically exactly what Olivia was saying. She's minding her time. She's hanging out with Will until Avon comes, and then she's going to forget about Will just so she can get a rose. Totally 100%. That's the name of the game. That's how the show works.
That is how the show works. Yeah. Like I do think sometimes viewers and even me like forget that. Yeah. Like you feel like, oh, she's a bad person for giving that or getting that rose and then using him for when Avon shows up. That's just what it is.
The name of the game, you're fighting for a rose here.
That's what I'm saying, right? It's a competition, however way you want to slice it. Maybe everybody is there for the right reasons, but that right reason is to win this competition.
It's just like, tough when Will is so innocent and just like, no, I would never stop her from going on that date because we're in Paradise and I want her to explore those things, and I'm just hoping she comes back and she's like, it wasn't the same as it was with you when we all just knew. She was going to end up with Avon.
I was feeling bad. He's fine. Like he'll survive. He got to stay. He I don't know if we want to skip as far ahead as Mercedes, but I'll skip around.
Who cares?
I actually love because I want to go back though and talk about Olivia.
We can do whatever we want.
But I will say that I think that it was kind of hilarious how Mercedes, who I'm sure would have been fine. Like I feel like she had made a couple other connections, and I'm sure somebody would have given her a rose. But I did like how she kind of swooped in on Will and just like, there, sweet child, like right in the bosom, like, and that's
you can
that
cry
mother
on my
vibe.
She'der, babe.
She's like, I'll be your mom if you give me a rose.
That made me feel bad. That whole part.
Oh yeah,
he was.
I felt terrible for him. Like his feelings were hurt. Like I think that he's a sensitive guy.
I hope he was being genuine.
That's what you hope because they kind of played it up where it was, I'm just doing this to get a rose, and I'm sure there was a part of her that was, but he was crying. He was in her bosom. It was just, I just hope that works out. And I don't have the highest of hopes for it, but I hope that it was genuine.
At least until he finds somebody that he really connects with. Like maybe they do connect, or maybe he just gets another chance. Because I do think that he deserves another chance. I think that Kylie, she's gorgeous, and he was interested in her. She barely even knew his name when she showed up. So I think that like it is fair for him to then pursue other people. But I want to go back to something that I said last week, and a stem that I cut, or no, a rose that I gave. I don't even know
the two options.
I know
one or the other.
I don't know if I actually gave no, I didn't. I didn't give the rose. I considered giving a rose or something to Olivia because I liked that she was. Oh, God bless you, Noah. Yeah. I liked that she was feeling like a hater and feeling pissed at Kylie, and I thought she had the right to like be pissed at Kylie. I preemptively cut Kylie's stem thinking she was a piece of shit for taking it from Olivia. Now I think that Olivia has taken it too far. I think that she now seems like this crazy bitter ex-girl, and I understand the passion, I understand the anger, and I also understand editing, but I think that she it's like, give it up, girl. Stop. Stop.
Olivia's definitely a little quirky. I think is
a
good way, where it's like I think she has a different sense of humor. Like even around the bonfire, it was like Kylie, like being like, who do you want to send home? Kylie, it was just like,
it was a lot.
Like she wanted it to come across in like a joking way, but was also being super serious because she like hates Kylie's guts.
Right, I think she hates her guts too much for it to come across as a joke. Like, okay, she was like, haha, you fucking bitch. Like,
yeah, exactly.
That was the tone.
Pretty much.
And I'm sorry, like it went too far. I do think that we really got duped by the previews, thinking that Avon was going to take her out, and he obviously did not. They spoke for 2 seconds, and the only thing she did was throw Kylie and Will under the bus, like you said, Trent.
Yep.
Yeah, and honestly, like, there's not much to say about it. Avon and Kylie had a great date, not surprising.
Of course, they had a lovely time.
Exactly as expected. There was a potential love triangle brewing, but it seemed like it got squashed pretty quickly. And that was because
Aaron B
kissed Mercedes, but then he decided he really liked, why am I spacing on her?
Eliza.
Yes,
Eliza.
like E-name. And Eliza has PTSD from last season. Like that went terribly for her. The Rodney Justin situation. It was,
and I do not blame her.
I do not blame her either. That was a disaster. It was like the entire drama of the whole season.
Yes.
So,
and we talk shit about her too, or at least I think I did.
I think she handled
ownership.
I think she handled that situation very well. Like, I think it was like, oh, I wish I knew that beforehand. Like, she got very nervous about it. At the end of the day, though, I need everybody to just relax a little bit when it comes to like only talking to one person at one time. That just can't be the show.
No.
You go down there, you gotta flirt with multiple people.
It's a dating show.
Like, that's where the drama comes from, obviously. Like, I think Aaron B should be allowed to kiss Mercedes one night and canoodle with Eliza the next. That's just, you have to
agree.
Feel out the other people. How do you make a genuine connection? This is where Bachelor in Paradise needs a little sprinkle of Love Island. You know?
Yes.
Because Love Island, everybody, it's like, oh, it's early days. Like, you could talk to this person, weigh your options. Maybe you hang out with this one and you go on maybe like inner little dates in the villa, and you like figure out who you like best. In Paradise, they seem to just cling to the person so fast that it's like, oh my God, like if you have one kiss or share one good moment, like you have to stay with that person. And I don't think that should be the case, because what if you kiss and then it's a terrible kiss and you got to move on?
Right.
That was the basis of the whole Olivia, Will, Kylie drama, where they met literally the first day.
Yeah.
Olivia and Will made out, and that's supposed to be some like, now you're with me. Yeah. And I agree with you. I wanted to express that opinion. I wasn't sure how to do it. You did it much better than I could, because you're on Bachelor in Paradise.
Yep.
You're not it's not like real life at a bar.
Yeah.
You're just, you have to be able to kind of go jump from one person to the next, because that's what the whole show is.
Yep.
So I completely agree with what you said.
I have a question for the both of you. Do we think that the idea of the Bachelor Paradise, whatever, is so, and has always been so focused on finding love, that people are more sensitive to showing their emotions and being vulnerable with each other, as opposed to like Love Island, where they know they're trying to find love, they know whatever, but they also are going to have a good time. And Paradise is a little bit of a different vibe, obviously, where people do go to like have a good time and hope to find love. But I think that like there's a sense of desperation in these shows where people get in there, and I don't know if that's for years of cultivating, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like these people come down, they see a connection, and they want to hold on to it. They want it to work so fucking bad. Like, these people want to be in love so bad. They want to get married so bad that they like had this tunnel vision, or they have these feelings that get hurt when people are too casual about it.
I think they're sold on that narrative, for sure. Whether that is by the producers who are telling them, like when they get there, like, you're going to find love, you're going to find love, this is where you find love. Look how many couples are successful from this.
Right.
Or is it the show with the Bachelor and the Bachelorette being like, this thing is all about love.
Right.
When I do think there needs to be like, it needs to be a bit more debaucherous.
100%. Like, people need just a little, like, let your hair down, loosen up a little bit. Like, it is that kind of vibe. But I will say that I think that, like, for example, if I were to go on that kind of show, I would need to be loosey-goosey about it, because if I started letting my real feelings get involved, I'd be like, fuck. Like, I'd freak out. Yeah. But that's because it's it's this love story narrative, and that it feels like pressure. But Love Island, I'd probably go on and be like, I'm trying to fuck around a little bit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And I think the audience has a different mindset. Maybe the audience's mindset needs to change a little bit too, just because I think now the contestants go on and they're so afraid of like being the villain or doing something poorly that it's like they go in being like, I got to find one person and stick to them and then like make it to the end, and that's how people are going to like me. Instead of like even with Brayden, like Brayden is, maybe this is really how Brayden is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But like Brayden being like, putting it all in Kat, great, that's great. But I'm just like, Kat, the bonfire was like, I don't know, there's a couple other guys that if they came, like I'd want to talk to them, as she should.
Yes, and it's day one. Like you can't hang up on day one.
Right, like what are Rachel and Sean doing? Like that's just not gonna, people, I feel like there's people at home who are like, this crazy. Is the couple. It's like that, they're not gonna last 2 minutes.
No. Rachel and Sean is actually laugh out loud funny. It's a hilarious pairing.
She got what she wanted out of that. And I think that Sean probably really likes her. You know what I do think, though?
Yeah.
I think Sean is going to be kicking himself when it comes to Jess. I do think he really likes Jess and barely gave it a chance. And now Jess and Blake, they might be endgame.
That's a good-looking couple.
And they're a good-looking couple. They are sweet. They both, like, the way they look at each other, I'm like, sweet. Oh, I like this a lot.
Yep.
So I think Sean kind of shot himself in the foot with the glitz and glamour of the Bachelorette giving him attention.
Yeah, I agree. So Hannah Brown came to the beach, which honestly, like, we don't have to give that much time to. We can talk about the bonfire, but
please, they gave her enough time on the fucking show.
It was too much. It was so much
long.
filler. I couldn't deal with it. Is she there to date? Is she not? It's frustrating for the audience, maybe because the contestants in the moment, they don't really know. They're like, oh, maybe she and her boyfriend broke up. Like, I don't know. We're watching months later. We know that she's engaged. Like, she's getting married.
Right.
So obviously she's not on the beach today.
She's not on the beach.
So like for us as viewers, I'm like, there's not a sliver, a 0.5% little sliver in me that's like, oh my God, maybe she did show up to date. Like, no, she literally is getting married. So, maybe producers were upset about that. Like, they saw that engagement. They're like, damn, this really hurts our little bit we had planned.
Exactly.
You almost need, if you want to present a situation like that, you almost have to have it be scandalous. Like, she actually has broken up with her boyfriend, and she's been quiet on Instagram for months. We don't know what's going on with Hannah Brown, and she shows up and she starts going after Blake Moynes, and it's like, holy shit!
It's like she literally got engaged last month.
Yeah,
I know. So it's like I'm with you where I'm watching it. And I'm like, all right, so when is she gonna break it?
Speed it up.
Let's go. Let's get to this bonfire because I'm watching her pull 2 guys at once, and I'm like, this is a waste of time.
Yeah.
This is a waste of time.
It really was. That was a complete waste of time. I did
I'd be happy if she just came down the stairs and was like, hey guys, I'm here, I'm hosting a bonfire, get ready.
I'm here to play a game.
We're gonna play
what's
a
wrong
game.
with that? We're still love to see a friendly face.
That would have been fine because it's just that whole like, is she here to date or not date was so stupid.
I'm sure that
go ahead.
Sorry, Tron.
No.
I'm sure the intent of that is to force someone on the beach into like a panic breakup.
Right.
Like they see Hannah across the room and they say,
or
fuck,
like somebody embarrasses themselves like
totally,
as she, like, flirts
but
with
the
her
risk
and she's like, nope.
the likelihood of that happening at this point in the game, like at this point in like the series, when everybody knows that it's twists and turns nonstop, no one's gonna put themselves on the line that quickly. You know what I mean?
The funniest part of Hannah's arrival was watching Sean try to hide how big of a Bachelor fan he is. As soon as she's he goes, is that Hannah Brown? He goes, is that Hannah Brown?
Yeah.
Is that Hannah Brown? Who is it? Hannah B?
Hilarious.
It was so good.
It was
I do love the respect she got from everybody.
For sure.
That was great.
That was really nice.
But it was just like, that could have happened if she came as like a little just, hey guys, we're hosting a party tonight.
Totally.
What did you think of Jess saying?
Tough.
Hannah Brown is the Taylor Swift of the Bachelor world. You just can't avoid Taylor Swift these days.
I can't. I know. I really can't. But I do think that. I mean, I don't know about all that.
She was excited.
Here's the thing. I liked Hannah Brown's season. I like Hannah Brown. I think that she's great. She's never been like my favorite.
Yeah.
And so when people are like, Hannah Brown, I'm like, get a grip. You know.
I think there's a bit of that is like how bad
she got. I've seen her act.
She got screwed.
She got
with the
screwed.
Jed stuff. I think that's where it comes from.
She did totally
People
get
are
screwed.
Like, there was the Jed thing, and then it was like, is she going to end up with Tyler? And then she obviously found
her.
And by the way, she's succeeded in everything she's done off the show too. So I think maybe that's what people like.
Yeah.
Like she went on Dancing with the Stars. was amazing.
Right.
Went on Special Forces, was amazing. Like, made it to the end on every show she's been on. Like, crushes life. Like, so I think that's probably
but
more
she also
what they
always
were
was.
to.
Like, there was never a problem with her. And I think that, like, I don't know. Would I call her the Taylor Swift of the Bachelor world? I think that is a stretch.
Yeah.
I don't know who I would call the Taylor Swift.
I don't really think there's anybody.
I don't,
like, who is the Taylor
There
Swift
isn't
of the
somebody
Bachelor
so
world?
beloved like that. Maybe, I mean, no, it would be too old. I was going to say like Trista and Ryan, like Trista. But just not even
I don't think
her.
it translates.
No, I don't think so
I don't think the
either.
comparison translates. Like, I'm a JoJo guy.
I was just going to say, it could be a JoJo.
Yeah.
Could be.
Well, it's like, what, like,
I don't know.
Is the Taylor Swift of the Bachelor world, does she need to be in a successful
Great question.
relationship
Fran.
from
Great
the
question.
franchise, or like is she just a natural star?
And also too, are we saying natural star? Or are we saying most famous? Because
Yeah.
if we're just saying most famous, it's still not Hannah Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hannah's
she's
up there
very
for sure.
famous. She's very famous in the Bachelor world.
As far as Instagram
people are
followers
more-
go too, I think she's up there also.
Who's the most famous?
I always forget about Dancing with the Stars. That always gives people
She
a
fucking
big ass
won
bump.
Dancing with the Stars.
I know.
Oh,
that
she
always gives
won.
people a big ass bump.
I haven't really
But then,
followed
like,
her
so did
outside of the
Caitlin
world.
Bristow. You know what I mean? Like, if I have to think of in terms of fame on The Bachelor and longevity,
She won
Caitlin
Dancing
Bristow
with the Stars.
comes to my head.
Hannah Brown.
Yeah, because Caitlyn won, Hannah won.
Caitlin won,
yes.
and yeah.
Hannah definitely won.
But
Charity's on
And
right
she
now.
won Special Forces.
oh, she did.
What
Yeah.
is Special Forces?
I never have watched that.
It's a
and
show
I really have to figure it out.
on Fox.
With all
that-
the like old celebs, or not old, but like
Oh, I think I've seen commercials for that recently.
yeah.
Like, is Tyler on it? Nick Viall, is he on it this year?
Yeah, Nick
I
Viall is
think
on it.
somewhere, yeah.
It's, so basically, it's like they drop you in the middle of nowhere, and it's like very legit, like task force, military leaders, or you're going through the fucking trenches.
That
Like
sounds
it is.
terrifying.
It's like
I would never.
like this past episode. They're in New Zealand, I think, filming is where Tyler said. And it's like winter, like really fucking cold. And they're like submerging
no
themselves
sorry.
in ice water and rappelling down buildings, and like it's crazy.
It's also like, hey, Tyler, just be the Bachelor, dude. You don't have to go
No,
to New
no,
Zealand.
I know,
Zealand
yeah,
in
you
the
don't have to do
winter.
all
This,
this.
yeah.
Well, I mean, he's gonna have a shirt off for a
but
whole,
no, it's
whole show.
it's
so.
crazy. It's
Love
pretty
that. I'll be
impressive
tuning
on what she's done. But yeah, Hannah hosted this bonfire. Clearly, they needed to stir the pot a little bit. I think
Yes.
everybody was definitely feeling a little comfortable. And honestly, nobody said anything that crazy.
No.
Like, it's still early enough in the show. It's only week 2 where, like, nobody, no viewer or anything. Like, if somebody said, like, I'm interested in maybe talking to somebody else, that we'd be like, what?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, it hasn't been weeks. It's like even Kat being like,
5
hey,
minutes.
if Tanner comes down, or like, you're like, yeah, sure. It makes sense. You and Brayden have been together for 4 seconds.
Exactly.
So like, it wasn't, I didn't even find that to be like that crazy.
I also think that sensitivity we were saying before about like hurting people's feelings translated to that too with Sean and Rachel, when Sean mentioned that he liked Jess. And then later it was like, I hope Rachel's not mad at me. I didn't get a chance to talk to her about that beforehand. And then went up to her and was
Rachel
like,
didn't give a shit.
I liked her, and like, but we didn't kiss or anything. Like blah blah blah. Like this precedent has been set with the way that Will made out with Olivia and then went on the date with Kylie, that kissing someone and not telling anybody or seeing if it's okay with everybody is bad. You know what I mean? Like
also
that just
shows
right
how
off the
much
bat.
Rachel really is invested in Sean. She was like, I don't care, kiss her.
Yeah.
Like,
She's like, whatever, dude. Like,
whatever.
get away.
I'm chilling.
They somehow got to frame it all differently. And I don't know how you do that.
Yeah.
I don't know either. I think somebody just has to come in and not give a fuck. We don't have anybody else that
I
just
know.
like doesn't give a fuck. I was saying,
Well, I
we don't have a
like
shit stir.
let's mix it up with some
that's
of
what I mean.
Rachel's exes. Tyler's
Yeah.
gonna come in. Like I like,
Yeah.
because clearly she and Avon, I guess, are fine. Like that was like, oh hey, they were so happy to see each other. Not
No
a
big
big
deal.
deal. Like
Oh, I
Yeah.
totally forgot about that.
yeah, like no,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like Tyler,
Well, I forgot too until Jesse
like,
reminded us that
Yeah.
at the top of the stairs that the last he had seen him, he was on after the final rose asking Rachel for another chance.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was like, damn, you're right.
Yep.
Tyler looks so much like KB that I can't not think about it when I see him.
I know.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really, I try so hard to separate that.
Dude,
because
I know.
It's
I think
impossible.
Tyler is
Tyler's so
hot.
cute. Well, I mean,
Well, he's,
and Tyler's been in the studio. He's tall, and
Oh, well, that was rude.
Tyler's tall.
he's a short guy. Or is he
No,
tall?
Wait, who?
Tyler's tall.
Tyler's tall?
Tyler
Yes.
is tall? I thought he was short.
Tyler is deceivingly not as short
Tyler-
as
we're
you
talking
think
about Tyler
he is.
Norris.
That
Yes.
is interesting.
I
Fran.
wouldn't necessarily say like, oh my God, he's 6'4",
Well, he
but
does
like
follow me. Just saying.
he came on our show.
Or does he? No, I remember that, but I
gotta
wasn't
find the
here
picture.
for some reason. I don't know why.
I just see him and
Or
I see
no,
KB.
I was-
That's all I see.
forget where I was. I was here, but I didn't talk to him. Didn't they go into radio and stuff? I remember.
I mean, he's got a good few inches on me there.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's not.
How tall are you?
Like.
Does he follow me?
5.
If you don't mind me asking.
5.5.
He doesn't follow me. Fuck
Almost
him.
5'6".
5. Oh, 5'5". Okay, so yeah, he's probably like
5'5", 5'6".
Probably like 5'10".
Yeah.
That's eye to eye.
I'm just saying KB and I are the same height.
Listen, I didn't want this to go this direction for KB. I'm just saying every time I see him.
Okay. I was like, what are we avoiding here? Like,
KB.
he's short, right? And then, okay, we don't want to call KB short. Well, KB is short, unfortunately. Or fortunately, it literally doesn't matter.
Great wrestler. He's a great wrestler.
He's a great wrestler. Handsome guy.
Short king, you know?
Exactly.
Okay. But yes, I do think that some of those exes could maybe stir it up a little bit, which could be good. There was a rose ceremony. The girls were not like in desperation mode yet. Like I think the early stage girls, like Brooklyn, Kat, like some of those girls, obviously they wanted to stay, but they were not risking it all for a rose. They were like,
no.
It seemed like they all kind of accepted their fate.
I don't think I saw Brooklyn talk to one guy.
You know, I know.
She's always just like at the bar talking to the girls.
I know. I think like Greer, like there was
out.
like one clip of Greer like sitting on Peter's back while he did push-ups, and I was like, okay, and yeah, so it didn't work for them. They didn't make it. There was some kind of drama maybe with the guys of like calling Peter immature.
It was Peter
calling somebody else.
I'll tell you this. It was Peter
calling Aaron S immature.
Aaron S
which is hilarious because they are like the oldest guys on the show.
Yes. Calling him immature to Sam, who is the girl that Aaron S was going to give his rose to, go after, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Talk about two people who have not made an impact.
I know,
Aaron
Jesus
S.
Christ.
Sam.
Literally.
Can't wait to watch 45 minutes on how she can't poop.
Dude, I am
exciting.
Dreading that shit. You know that I hate that. I hate that whole, I hate everything about it.
Yep.
I don't understand why Peter decided, like, somebody must have prodded him and was like, start some shit. Because he out of nowhere was like, I'm going to go up to this girl and I'm going to say that her boyfriend's a fucking immature bitch.
Yeah.
And
made no sense.
It made no sense. And then Aaron S., rightfully so, gets pissed and goes, hey man, did you say I was immature? And he was like, no. And then he was like, I was just told that you called me immature. And he was like, I used the word immature. Okay, so yeah, you called him immature.
Yeah.
You implied he was immature. You said the word immature. What are we doing here? Why are you starting this drama?
Yeah.
And then for him to kind of be leading on Greer, which is what I felt, and pick Olivia, what's this man doing? What is this man
I feel like, did
doing?
we see him talk to Olivia like at all?
No. When have they ever spoken?
Aaron.
This is why I think Pete, knockoff Pilot Pete has different motives, and it's exactly like, that was the only drama from last season's Men Tell All, and because all the men fucking hated Pete's guts, and I'm sorry, like there's maybe if like one or two guys you have a disagreement with, sure, like the misunderstanding, whatever. But when like the entire cast like really doesn't like you, I think that reflects more on you.
Totally agree.
And so I'm like, Pete, I don't really think you're gonna win any of us over. In my mind, I'm like, Pete wants to stay on the show. That was the whole thing, the whole name of the game. He wanted the Instagram followers. He wanted the thought. So I'm like, in his mind, he's like, oh, Olivia, maybe Olivia's like in the drama a little bit more. Like, I'll pick Olivia.
Right.
There's something
he's
about.
I don't find one
game.
sincere. I don't see one sincere bone in his body, especially when Was it when Hannah Brown came down? He was like, "She's hot," and I was like, "Ew."
He's just
There's
something about him.
knockoff Pilot Pete where it's also the way he accepts compliments. He was talking to the women, and they'd be like, "Oh, I think you're so attractive." I was waiting, and he was like, "Oh, thank you." Oh, he was fucking weird,
I'm just not in
I'm
on
like
this guy
skeeved
at all.
out, kind of. Yeah.
And also, Aaron S. was definitely in the right in that situation, but it was his Super Bowl to be able to say, let's have a conversation man to man. He's a man to man guy. Even on his season,
you love Aaron S.
He was very much about like, I'm a man.
Yeah.
You guys are boys. I'm a man. So
100%.
he was in the right there, though. That knockoff Pilot Pete he's a weird guy.
Yeah.
He's doing some weird shit. I don't appreciate it. I don't know what his angle is outside of, just clout chasing, doing whatever.
Yeah.
I agree.
Over it.
Okay, so Greer, Kat, and Brooklyn all went home. We know that next week it looks like Tyler's coming down. There's going to hopefully mix it up a little bit. Let's cut some stems and give out some roses.
Fabulous.
Let's grab those Coors Lights, shall we?
My favorite time.
All right.
Yes.
You got it? All right.
Oh.
Thank Thank you.
I love.
I think I've got mine ready to go if I can.
Oh, you're jumping ahead even before the can is popped.
I know.
I'm sorry.
All right, everyone. You know we love our Coors
Cheers.
Light. Cheers.
Actually, you guys can go first if you want. If you guys want, it's up to you guys.
No, you go, Trent.
No, Trent, you
got
clearly
something
want it.
on your
It's okay.
mind. Speak your mind. Say
Got
it
it on your mind. Honestly, I only have one locked in. So
I'm going to
cut right as my Blue Mountains.
Cut the stem of knockoff Pilot Pete.
Nice.
Just because, there's something about him that I don't think he's long for this paradise world. I think when the women are in control, he's going to be in trouble. And I think he's probably going home next week.
Agreed.
We're just 2 seconds away from him saying something that's just like a little
right, a little off. You know what I mean? No, 100% right.
And he's older than everyone else on the show, so it makes it like if he were 26, like Hot Sean says things, and I'm like, boy, oh boy.
But it just checks out.
But he's Sean.
You know?
Like
there's like something still a little bit endearing about it. You know?
I agree. I'm actually more in on Sean now than I was on his season of The Bachelor.
I agree.
Every time I see him, it makes me smile. But
nice,
just seems like he's happy to be there, you know?
Agreed.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
I love this. I'll get a DM about it. I got a DM this past week as well, being like, haven't watched yet, but hope you were nice. And I said, I gave you my rose, bitch. Come correct. And I'll keep giving them.
And then, wait, what do I got to do? I got to give the rose to somebody. Oh, Will. I'm going to give it to Will.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a sweet rose.
I just hope it works out, man. The Mercedes thing at the end has me worried. I hope she's genuine. But he's kind of been through the ringer early on, and not really deservedly so. So I hope things work out for Will. I don't think it's going to work out with Mercedes, but I've got my fingers crossed. But he gets my rose.
That's really sweet, Trent. That's
Thank
a
you.
nice thing. And I'm sure Will appreciates that. No
I hope
joke.
he does. I like Will.
I'm dead serious. I think, okay. My rose is going to go to Blake and Jess as a couple.
Nice.
I really like
they're flying under the radar right now. Which
they're
I
flying
think
under the radar,
thing.
but I'm telling you, that rose ceremony, the way that they were looking at each other when they was giving the rose, looks can say a lot.
Yeah.
And their looks were telling me a whole story. And I really liked it.
That's beautiful.
And it was really sweet. It was a tender moment. I was shocked.
Blake, how old is Blake Boynes?
He's getting up there at this point. I think
30,
and I mean that
might
with
be
love.
the same age.
35?
Oh yeah.
Is that too old?
Blake
No, definitely not. Because I know Jess is like
She's
25.
But I think she's young.
Really?
Right.
Yeah.
He is 33. Oh, yeah. Oh,
33? Oh, we're good.
Cool.
We're fine.
We're good.
Young.
I mean, Serena and Grocery Store Joe are the biggest success ever. And, he's older than she is as well. So
Absolutely.
But sometimes I just feel like
when the distance is too, I will say this.
I come from a place of protecting Blake Moynes, you know? I'm just like, come on, Blake, please, let this be the time that it works.
Whenever the guy is older, I always think like, all right, that's fine. They've like gotten their bullshit out of their system.
Yeah.
And as long as the girl is not too young, because I feel like girls get their shit out of their system sooner than guys do.
Totally.
And so if it's like, if she's 22, 23, she's still got some bullshit going on. But if she's 26,
like 25, 26.
Yeah, 25, 26, okay, I trust your judgment more.
Yeah.
You know? And
I
think
agree.
that I think they're okay. So
okay.
I'm rooting for them.
Yes, they get a rose.
And then I'm cutting the stem of Olivia. I cut the stem of Kylie last week for her behavior, and unfortunately I just can't condone Olivia's. She took it too far. It didn't come across right. She hates her too much. It's too personal, and she needs to chill out.
I agree.
Love that.
Thanks.
Have a Coors Light. Need to chill out.
Need to chill out.
Beer that's made to chill.
Need to chill out, Olivia. Take a sip.
Okay, I am going to cut the stem of, obviously I complained about it already, but the Hannah Brown, is she here to date? Is she not to date? I'm happy with the bonfire part. I like that. Like, that was fun. But the whole, like, it was 10 minutes too long on if she is there to date or not date. I just feel like sometimes when they do that, I'm like, what do you think? We're all dumb? Like us, if you,
I know,
you know?
yeah. What are we,
you trying to,
dummies?
We're a bunch of dummies watching the show?
That
Come
almost-
on.
well, that almost
don't,
goes-
don't pull these silly tricks on.
Well, that
like,
almost
it makes me...
Don't treat us like children.
Exactly.
I agree
ABC.
with you. I agree.
Exactly.
But it also goes back to, like, I really think that they are torn on audiences.
Yeah.
Like, we're so online.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
of us are so online.
Yes.
That there's definitely some 50-year-old women watching the show like, is Hannah Brown here to date?
No,
That's so
for
true.
sure. But I do
So
think
true.
Paradise is a much younger audience.
I hope so.
I think so too. A lot of people that I know only watch Paradise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they tune in. They kind of know what's going on in the other things. But
or just like young. Anytime, I don't know, like live shows we have, and girls are like in their early to mid 20s. Like I feel like are like, oh, like, you know, I watch Paradise, but like I don't pay that much attention.
Always, yeah.
So yeah, just feel like that was
it was too much still.
too much. Now, Plot twist. I am gonna give my rose to Aaron S.
No.
Ooh.
Because honestly,
so
there was a line he had in an interview that genuinely made me laugh, that I was like, I can't believe he just said that. That was so dumb, but I loved it at the same time.
What did he say?
I think they were when Will was sad about Kylie going on the date, and he was like, this dude's just Mopey Dick.
Oh yes.
What?
I loved Mopey Dick.
Missed that.
He called
I
him
forgot
Mopey
all
Dick.
about that. Mopey, he was like, yeah,
Dick.
understandably. He's around here, Mopey Dick.
He's just Mopey Dick.
I completely
and
forgot
honestly,
about
like
that.
I was doing other stuff as I was watching. I like stopped in my tracks, and I was like,
Hilarious.
he did not just say Mopey Dick.
Mopey
All right,
Dick.
that's pretty good.
You know, so just in that moment, we need a little. Sometimes you just need like a little laugh filler in there. Sometimes because there wasn't too many like funny moments per se this episode, so I enjoyed that. That gave me a good chuckle.
Mopey Dick.
Mopey Dick is a good one, and that's worthy.
And you
of a
just
rose.
know, like when you're in an interview and you have a line, he just wanted to nail that so hard.
100%.
And he did.
He thought about that all day, waiting for his confessional. He's like, I can't wait to call him Mopey Dick.
I can't wait to call him Mopey Dick.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Incredible.
just really crushed that one. Okay, I think that wraps it up.
I think so.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Coors Light. Cheers. Everyone have a lovely evening. Time for bed. And
Time for bed.
Yeah,
Go
it's
to
like
sleep.
midnight.
Fill up your water bottle.
Yep.
Fill up your humidifier.
Time
Get
for bed,
next to your bed.
and we will be back next Thursday.